get into a little bit about what we've been talking about. Now, we've been talking on the Janus Project about Christians' response to homosexuality, specifically refuting Matthew Vines and some of that stuff there. We also have a side series going on, a Genesis class that I taught, and we're going to kind of have those things going in tandem. And I'm still doing book reviews. I've spun a lot of those over onto a channel called Tomes. Right now I'm kind of in a graphic novel kick, and so you've seen an awful lot of graphic novel stuff. Now, as we deal with this issue of homosexuality, one of the best guys to research on this is a guy by the name of Robert Gagnon. Robert Gagnon has written just an absolute tome of material. There's an article I'm working my way through. I've been working through it for a while. It's over 100 pages long. And so it's a book in itself, but it's just an article. It's actually a response to someone else who was responding to one of his books. And so Robert Gagnon is a guy you're going to want to be familiar with as you interact with the Matthew Vines material. Now, it's funny because as I research Matthew Vines and specifically as I'm reading Robert Gagnon and others, I don't believe Robert Gagnon is specifically responding to Matthew Vines, but you would think he was, because it's the same exact argument, just rehashed again and again and again. And let me summarize some of what you hear. You will hear Paul had no concept of committed same-sex relationships. He did. He would have. There were those things back then. There were committed homosexual relationships back then. Paul would have known about them. And so you can say that all you want. There's just no evidence that he would have been ignorant of that. He also says, they say things like, well, it's about all the cases in the Bible are about abusive relationships. They have nothing to do with loving relationships. Here's the thing. Stereotypically, lesbian relationships back in the ancient times, they were actually more of the gentle, loving, tender kind. So that would have been clear. That would have been known. And so when you have all of that type of situation, the fact is, he would have known about loving relationships. He would have been well aware of committed relationships. And then the idea of, well, it's just against pederasty. It's just against adults with children. Now, here's the thing. There's art, there's murals, there's other things of adult consensual relationships, by all appearance, and they were loving, consensual adult relationships. And so I would suggest, as you watch Matthew Vines and as you study out some of what he says, and really he's digging into that concept of the Bible has nothing negative to say about homosexuality. That's just a load of bollocks. I mean, that's just what it is. It's not true at all. The ancient world would have had a clear knowledge of loving, committed, same-sex relationship between people who are of equal standing or similar standing. Definitely would have known about adult versus adult relationships. And so a lot of what they just say, it's various people throughout history who have tried to revise history. But you can go to art, you can go to other sources. And so I would recommend to your reading Robert Gagnon, thumb through some of his material. He even does some speeches on YouTube where he brings up some of this evidence. But I want to put his name in front of you as you study out the homosexuality stuff. Because he's going to be just a wealth of information. And you will have a substantial number of people who are trying to come out and say, no, we understand it now. They don't. There's nothing new under the sun. This has been going on for a long time, and that's just the way it is. So we're going to continue our series on homosexuality, but I just wanted to cover that because Robert Gagnon is going to be a really, really crucial source for you to understand this topic. Even from just a social and political standpoint. Guys, hope you enjoyed the Janus Project. I'd ask you to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And we've crested the 100 subscriber mark, which is cool for me doing this casually on the side. But anyway, like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you've read Gagnon, comment below on where you got his information. And I will talk to you guys later.